Okay, let's talk about account shop and the reason why I really actually don't want it being released. I know this will anger some people, especially ones who are really eager to receive the benefits from it. But I think that in the current state, it is actually not that beneficial for you, especially if you are a free-to-play player or a low spender of it, because the items you get from the freely or very cheaply obtainable means will be outshadowed by the implications that the high spenders will get from here. So first of all, you've probably seen this covered. This is the account shop and it allows you to buy various items based on your current account level. Some of the stuff are one-time purchases, like as you can see, the Transcender Scroll, the Devilmon, Legendary Scroll, stuff like that. These are one-time purchases for a pretty cheap amount. And then there's the weekly or monthly stuff. As you can see, 10 monthly mystical scrolls here and there. There's the 200,000 gold weekly for free. There's a Devilmon for 2.5k. There's the big one, probably the one people are most excited about, is the Light and Dark Transcender Scroll you get for free at level 50. And then there's the a bit less obtainable ones, first of all because of the high level, and second of all because of the cost. So there are 3 one-time Light and Dark Net 5 scrolls, and then there are 3 legendary Light and Dark scrolls obtainable monthly. So now, to give you the reason why I actually don't want this to happen is, let's look at the amount. We're not gonna count the one-time stuff you get. I mean, one-time stuff, it's cool. You get a Light and Dark Net 5 at level 50 for free. However, with the amount of Light and Dark Net 5s that are currently good, like actually usable in the game, it's quite a few compared to the most of the Net 5s that are available for the regular elements. So personally, I wouldn't say that you should be really excited about that one Light and Dark Net 5 that you're getting, because there's a very good chance that it will be disappointing. And yeah, so apart from that stuff, let's look at the stuff that you are able to get weekly and monthly. So to put you into perspective, on the left side, I have added up what items you can pretty easily buy as either free-to-play or a low-spender player per year. And on the right, I will add extra items that the more pay-to-win players will be able to afford. So if you look at this, first of all, there's the gold. You get 200,000 gold per week for free. That will account to 10.4 million gold per year, because there are 52 weeks in a year. Then there's the 240 mystical scrolls, since you're getting 20 scrolls per month and there are 12 months in total. 240 mystical scrolls. However, each 20 scrolls will cost you 300,000 gold. So essentially you have to take away 3.6 million gold from the free stuff you get, and we're only left with a bit less than 7 million gold that you get from that account shop. And lastly, there will be the Devilmons that you can get. However, those Devilmons aren't free. Each Devilmon will cost you 2.5k crystals, and that's, I'd say, for my gameplay, I only buy the Summoner Pass, and 2.5k crystals is something I can easily account for monthly. However, it would be hard scrambling more crystals without interfering with the regular gameplay that I do. So I will count it as a decent purchase. However, keep in mind that this will cost you 30k crystals in total. So it's not free, and that's why I'm marking it more of a gray color. Now, on top of that, what pay-to-win players, and especially those high spenders, are getting are an additional 36 Light and Dark Legendary Scrolls per year. Since you are able to buy 3 per month for 10,000 crystals each, that means you're getting 3 per month, and times 12, you are getting 36 Light and Dark Legendaries per year. Now, the reason why I don't like the account shop is the amount of Light and Dark units the high spenders will be able to acquire, and the reason for why I'm scared of those units being acquired is because it will tip the game balance in a wrong direction, especially for the more free-to-play and the low spenders. So to give you the overview of how many light and dark net 5s you can get on average, right? Again, these are yearly amounts, meaning that how many you can get per year on average. Of course, it's hard to determine the exact dates as there are quite a few sources. So galagos, there will be 26 rotations per year since they reset twice, or rather reset once every 2 weeks. So you're able to buy 3 legend or 3 light and dark scrolls each rotation, which in total means you're able to get 78 light and dark scrolls from here. Same with the pieces, you're able to get 10 pieces per 2 weeks, meaning that there will be 26 resets of galagos, and in total you are getting 260 legendary light and dark pieces. And on average, you will be getting around 4 light and dark scrolls from TOA. You get the 2 guaranteed ones from completing the tower, and you also get a lot of those secret rooms. And from my experience, 2 light and darks is somewhere around the average that you can expect to get per month of rotation. So we're gonna go with that. It's, of course, the final number is a bit harder to determine. So yeah, there's that. And on top of that, we have to remember that the high spenders are getting the extra 36 light and dark legendaries that we already discussed here. So with these final light and dark amounts in mind, let's look at the amount of net 5s you are actually able to get with them. So if you calculate the net 5s on the more free-to-play side or low spender side, 78 light and dark scrolls and 48 light and dark scrolls is a total of 126. One light and dark scroll has a 1% chance of being a net 5, meaning that 126 scrolls will mean you are getting a 1.26 light and dark net 5s on average. Then if we take the legendary light and dark pieces, that's another 260 pieces, so that's around 9 scrolls, but we're also getting close to 2 legendary scrolls from Pity from the regular light and dark scrolls. So in total, there's around 10 legendary light and dark scrolls you are getting per year, and so from 10 legendary scrolls, you are getting around 1 light and dark net 5 on average, since each legendary scroll is 10% chance to summon a net 5. And from the 10 legendary scrolls, you're also getting a Pity Transcendent Scrolls, which will give you another guaranteed light and dark net 5. So on average, you are getting from the legendary scrolls and the Pity another 2 light and dark net 5s. So on average, if we include the base rates, the legendary and the Pity rates, and the few extra pieces of light and dark legendary scrolls that you get, we can come up to an average of 3.5 light and dark net 5s that you can acquire as a low spender or a free-to-play player per year. Now, if you may have seen the final amount I quoted in there, so the 36 light and dark legendaries. So first of all, those high spenders are still getting the net 5s that the free players are getting. So I simply transfer them over here, and these are the same rates. So these will basically account for the same 3.5 net 5s on average. On top of that, they are summoning an extra of 36 light and dark legendary scrolls. So each light and dark legendary is 10% chance to give you a net 5. So on average, that's another 3.6 net 5s from the scrolls. And each 10 scrolls will give you a Pity Transcendent Scroll, meaning that on average, you are getting another 3.6 net 5s from the Pity. And in total, we're looking at close to 11 light and dark net 5s per year. So I'm not even accounting for the light and dark scrolls you get for free. So there you would get 1 light and dark scroll, but here you would get 4 because you are able to easily afford those light and dark transcendent scrolls. So yeah, when you see these amounts of light and dark net 5s that you're getting, at first it will not be too impactful because they still have to be lucky to pull a good one. However, here's the problem with light and dark Net 5s. Currently, they are really hardly obtainable, and uh, especially the free-to-play and the low spenders are actually able to compete with the amount of light and dark scrolls you are getting, because light and dark scrolls are currently really overpriced in the shop, and buying them is either really expensive, and even then you're not able to buy a lot of these scrolls apart from the very few super special packages that rarely come out. Now, what this means for competitive play. So first of all, yes, you're able to get more access to Light and Dark Net 5s. They will, of course, be able to get more Light and Dark Net 5s. So early on, at least over the first few years of the game, the spenders will be able to get more unique Light and Dark Net 5s, allowing them to first of all get a higher chance of getting a good one, actually. And second of all, here's the thing with Light and Dark Net 5s. With regular Net 5s, in this game at least, they are, in my opinion, really easily obtainable. I personally have like 60 or 70% of all regular Net 5s already, and I've only been playing for 5 months, close to being free to play. I spent like what, $30 or $40 or something like that. So really nothing in the grand scheme of things, and I'm doing a decent job collecting all those unique Net 5s. So there's no question that the spenders probably already have, I would say, all of the regular Net 5s, right? The thing about regular Net 5s is, in competitive play, especially in stuff like Brawl Arena, right? The thing about regular Net 5s is, first of all, even the free-to-play and the low-spender players are able to easily counter them. One way you can counter is, first of all, you can pick them yourself. This means that you are able to pick, not only prevent your enemy from picking a very good unit, you're actually getting a very good unit yourself. And once you only play with regular F5s mostly, right? This allows you to sort of balance out the powers regardless of how much they have spent, because the unit pool you have accessible is pretty similar, apart from like a few units here and there that you may not have. In most cases, you will have most of the OP PvP stuff as far as regular F5s go. Now, if you add a lot of light and darks to the mix, first of all, the free-to-play and the low spenders will not be getting a lot of light and dark Net 5s. So, the first thing is, some of the light and dark Net 5s are so OP compared to the regular ones that you will simply have to either be forced to ban them, or you're playing at a very big disadvantage when fighting those calls. And I'm not talking about stuff like Light Ifrit or whatever that is probably so bad that no one even built him at this point. I'm talking about stuff like Eleanor. I'm talking about stuff like Nephthys, which is able to do AoE, defense break, and silence with a single skill. I'm talking about those OP light and dark Net 5s that are literally game changing compared to the regular ones. And the bad thing about those is, first of all, with you not having access, you're not able to counter pick your opponent, meaning that whoever is a high spending player will be simply able to freely pick those OP light and dark units and force you into really bad situations when trying to deal with them. Second thing is, you are sort of not able to counter them when picking yourself, because first of all, you do not have access to them, and most of us will not have access to those premium light and dark Net 4s, because we're simply left with, well, like 3 times less light and dark and Net 5s that we're able to acquire. We're not able to counterpick the opponent, meaning that not only we're not getting the OP unit, we're not able to prevent the enemy from easily using that OP unit. Like, imagine how insane Brawl Arena is if you do not have access to all of the meta units, like the Juno, like the Galleon, like the Ariel and stuff like that. Try playing a match without picking a single meta unit. And you'll see what I'm talking about. It will be extremely ridiculous to go against all of those units. And this is simply what will happen once a lot of light and dark nav5s are introduced through the account shop. That will be happening the same, but basically instead of regular nav5s being the exclusive club that you do not have access to, light and dark ones will be the exclusive access that you do not have the ability to join. So yeah, personally, if you look at these numbers, the amount of light and dark nav5s, first of all, the free-to-play and the low spenders will get compared to the high spenders will get, I'm really worried about especially the competitive PvP aspect of it, as it will shift the balance of the game a lot. Because currently, even the free-to-play players are able to compete in PvP a lot. Trust me, there are a lot of top 100 players, maybe even top 10 players, I would say, that are easily sitting in those leaderboards. But with this change, with the access to those super OP nav5s, especially more chances to get them, I'm really worried about how uncompetitive the scene will become for the more free-to-play or low spenders. So yeah, I don't know, just sort of, can you call it, a rant, a discussion, I guess. Like, I'm not mad, it's just that I'm a bit worried what will happen with the current account shop release, and I really hope that before releasing it to NA and global, they actually rework how the account shop works overall. And yeah, that's about it. That's just my thoughts on it, and I'll see you in the next one.